looks like everything is working to me. So what do we got today? More board game minis. Because I really wanted to play Age of Fantasy Quest, but to be honest, majority of my desk right now is Gundam or these board game minis. So until I finish one of those projects, I need to clear some space. I need to, knock some stuff out. So I figured the first thing we would do is work on these board game minis that I had started painting on stream last week. We painted this guy together and the stupid white guy on the cannon. This guy. Fucking Alliance looking motherfucker that guy is. We painted all those together last week. And now we need to work on the rest of the bits and bobs for it, the rest of the pieces of the game. So these are all from a board game called Sea of Legends. And Sea of Legends has miniatures, but is not a miniature game. I don't know a ton about the rules, but from what I understand, from my sister telling me, you have a miniature, say Mr. Skellybones here, right? You have your miniature, and then he's going to have some troops, say these guys. And those troops are essentially tokens for holding spots on the board. And then he's going to have a ultimate kind of thing that he can summon, which is this guy right here. Now these two I'm full painting, right? Doing the whole shebang on painting those up. Mr. Skellybones and his ultimate, because this is your player character model, and your player character model deserves extra special attention, right? It deserves a lot of more attention than the other ones get. And then this is kind of like a special attack from my understanding. So this guy requires, he requires some extra love too, right? Plus he's a big mini, so you want to put some extra work into him. So, but these guys we're going to paint really kind of quick and easy because they're not the focus, right? They're the background. They're here to stand and be tokens and be representative of this guy's troops. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick out a couple colors and essentially use those colors to imply the force this mini is part of, but not paint them in a detailed fashion like this guy, because we don't want his tokens to draw away from him. Because if you have all these on the board, right, and they're all kind of super well painted, I would not be surprised if someone went, oh, that's my guy, right? But if he is reminiscent of his troops, but painted differently, it's easier to kind of call him out as your player character. Also, I have lettuce in my beard for my lunch. Delicious. So what we're going to do is we're going to do essentially like a dry brushy kind of style on everything that's not the main character. So I've got these in essentially every possible state they could be in, because there's 6 of these soldier tokens. So I've got these in basically every state possible, so we can kind of do every step of this, which I thought would be pretty fun. So with that, we're going to start off with the first step and kind of work our way through all the other minis. All right, step number 1. What do we got? We've got a Monkey Man. We got Mr. Monkey here. Cool mini. He clearly goes with this Monkey Man. And I think their character is, at least I hope I got this right, I think their character is this guy, because he has Mecha Cuddle, and that's kind of, these guys are very like South American kind of, right? So because of that, I tried to have some colors across all of them, right? They all have kind of little bits of green. You can see it on his pants. You can see it in the armor here. And we're going to do something similar with the monkeys. So step one, all right? So these have all been primed. They've just been primed very quickly. I just give them a quick once over with black. You can see that there's some spots I missed, right? Because when I prime stuff, I kind of prime in batches. So we got to get our prime to be a little more covering, right? Because we want these guys to be full black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a little bit of black. Really, any black will work for this. I'm using Pro Acryl Coal Black because I just love this color so much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a beat up asshole brush, and we're just going to quick base coat this. Boop, 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 boop. Boom, just like that. All right, now Monkey Man, now that I've filled in all of his missing black from the top coat, is basically ready. He is ready for the next step. So we are going to go ahead and use up the rest of that black paint I got out, because we might as well. But my plan's not to today like sit down and literally finish every one of these, but I might as well use up all the paint I got out, you know. So I'm going to do that. If we end up missing little tiny areas, it's okay. I would prefer not to, but we'll take what we can get, right? Alright, so I'm going to need some more. Okay, step number two. Step number two is to get the bottoms of these in blue. Hello! So all these minis, I've been doing blue bases on all of them. So you can see it here. You can see it in, you know, this guy. You can even see it in things that didn't immediately have blue bases, like this one, where I did part of the base in blue, so it still kind of matches the set. Because since these are for a board game, them clearly being a set is very important for that. So because of that, I did all the bases in blue. Now, some of these I didn't do a great job on, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit those again a second time and get those done up. So this dark blue that I chose for the base is Imperial Navy. Pretty dope color, to be honest. These Army Painter War Paint fanatics are just fantastic. I cannot sing their praises enough. Alright, we're going to take our shitty, beat up ass, super busted brush again, and same thing. Right? We are going to hit the whole base. We are going to purposefully hit the bottom of the model. Because since these are tokens, I want the base to tie into the model, right? Like, these aren't player characters. They're not big fancy special monsters. These are your troop tokens. You know, this is a board game with miniatures. It's not a miniature board game. And what I mean by that is that these troop tokens here, they represent things in the game, but like the individual token itself is not super important. It's not like you're playing Frostgrave and you have a unit of 5 guys and it's very important that this guy has a laser gun but that guy doesn't, and you know, you wouldn't have a laser gun in Frostgrave, but you know what I mean. You know, they're a lot more akin to like a knight or a rook from chess, right? Or the little soldiers and horses and stuff from like Civ. They're a lot more akin to that. So what I do, just going to go ahead and go over the base for each one of these with some blue. Because we're going over black, coverage might not be perfect, but I am also making a point to hit the bottom of the model, because I want these to kind of be reminiscent of, like, they're coming out of the base, right? Like they're coming out of the water or whatever. They're coming, you know, kind of like implying more that they're like part of the board, right? I just think that's a thematically kind of fun idea. So just hand some bases with this blue. Now, once this step is done, right, we've got the very bottom of our model done in blue, and we have the base done in blue. We can work on our next step. Now, our next step is pulling out an individual color and tying it to our model. So, in this case, we're going to pick a color that is coming from the main character or from the like ultimate attack thing. Okay, we're going to pick something that's tying into one of those two. And in this case, I think we'll keep doing the monkeys. Yeah, we'll keep doing the monkeys. How many monkeys do I have left? Let's see, the 1, 2, 3, 3 there, and I've got 3 over there. Okay. All right. Well, let's actually get all these monkeys caught up kind of to the same page, and then we'll do all the monkeys. That'll give him a little bit of time to dry before we go to the next step on him. So just like before, we have to finish up our priming job that we did. You can see how shiny these are. This is primer I got from like a home repair store essentially. I've almost removed entirely to quote unquote cheap primer, because it really does just as good of a job. These ones are a little shiny because they got sprayed probably a little heavier than I normally do for my priming. So that's probably my bad. They really shouldn't be this shiny. They usually aren't from the like home repair primer, but the home repair primer is also a third of the price, and it does basically as good of a job. So and also it's a million times more accessible, to be honest. I don't know why it's very annoying to get specific color primers and stuff, because they don't really like to ship them out here. So I'd love to be like, oh, you should use color forged primers or yada yada yada, but they don't ship them out here. So if one of the stores not importing them from a distributor, we literally can't get them. So cheapo primer it is. All right, step 2. We've got our base done. We've got our I guess let's finish the base for the rest of the monkeys, I guess, and then we'll do that next part. I guess we'll finish up all the monkeys. We'll work on a fox next after this monkey, after we do the base of these monkeys, and then we'll come back and finish the monkeys. So my sister worked on this board game, and she hates monkeys. So it's kind of funny that there's like numerous monkey things in this board game. That brings me some amount of amusing joy. These guys over in the pentagram, I guess they go with the devil. I guess. What character goes with the devil then? I guess this is really not one that like jumps out at me as this one goes with the devil. But it's interesting. In the 2 sets I got my sister, there's 9 big special mobs and 8 characters. So